Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. So, we've got the 7600 back there behind the 4020. I think I can squeeze it out. But I want to hook the 76 up to the manure spreader, which is down under the barn cleaner. And the reason I want to hook it up is because I need to clean out the barn. There's a bit much straw in the gutter. So, I'm going to hook the 76 up to the manure spreader, back it up, try to fill it up as much as I can. And then I'm going to run the manure spreader out to the pasture, even though it is kind of wet. But I think it really needs to be cleaned out anyway. But I think that I can take it out to the pasture with the 76 with little issue. So I'm going to hop in the 76. I believe it's already got the 540 PTO in it, so I don't have to switch it over. And then I can hook right up to the spreader. Well, I stand corrected. It has the 1000 PTO in it. For those of you who are unaware, the 1000 PTO has smaller spines on it compared to the 540, which has wider and thicker spines. And the 540 runs slower, the 1000 runs faster. Things that we use the 1000 for is like the baler. The 540 would be like the tedder or the manure spreader, things that really don't need as much speed. So I'm going to swap this out real quick. Basically all I got to do is just flip it around. It's nothing really too bad. And you see how one side is 1000 and the other side is the 540. All right, let's go down there and hook up to the manure spreader. So I've talked about this before, but a lot of people have been asking me lately, just what is this thing? So this is the barn cleaner. They are definitely going out of style. Basically there's fewer and fewer of these things in operation every day. So what the barn cleaners are essentially a series of chains with paddles on them that run through the barn. And the whole concept is that since the cows are tied in stanchions, or were tied in stanchions on each side of the barn cleaner would run down and it would go up behind them. So they would crap into the barn cleaner, and then from there their manure would go out and into the manure spreader. So we used to clean the barn like at least once a day, sometimes back in the winters when we were still milking cows. But in the summer it wasn't as intensive because the cows were only in here for the period of time that they were being milked, whereas in the winter they were kept inside to protect their bags from freezing. So yeah, it's still in operation today. This one's still good. Travis's has one down at his place that was in operation, but we took that one out. We did some stuff down there to it, and we brought some spare parts to use for this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the barn cleaner. It's full of straw right now because I cleaned out the calves bedding. And I know it's not going to fit all in this load, but if anything I'll just take 2 loads out, providing it's not too wet on the first load, because if I'm going to tear it up too much I don't want to do it any more than I have to. So alright. Now these things are real fun to try to fix in the winter when it's below freezing. We had a lot of problems back on this corner here. The barn cleaner goes in and then it makes a corner and then it continues down the barn. Right on that corner we would always have problems with it. There's a wheel that inside the concrete that the links ride on, and every now and then they would go out, especially when we were using it more frequently. But we haven't had too many issues with it because we only run it when we have to now. But yeah, that was always fun, especially when the barn cleaner was absolutely full of manure. But one thing we tried to do to avoid problems with it is see how the straw is coming back here. Well, a lot of times bedding or anything would come back around from the barn cleaner and then go down back in and it'd get caught down in that corner, and then it'd make it come off, and then it would be a mess. I'm not going to close the gate unless I have to spin around and do so. I'm only going a couple hundred yards into the Klein pasture out here. So there's just one cow out here that we never got in. She's doing great. She didn't look the greatest when all the other cows left her, but being out in this pasture alone, she's looking a lot better. But she's out here somewhere. I mean, as long as I don't see her through here, then I should be good. Because this pasture comes up to a narrow point, and that's where the gate is. So I'm going to go out into where it opens up a little bit and spread the manure very, very lightly out on the grass. Wet out here much at all, at least on the grass. Back in where we had done some destruction, where it's all mud, is probably pretty wet, but out on the grass it's pretty decent. Basically I fit everything that I could on the first load, and there's just a little bit of a pile in this one now, so I'm just going to leave it be. I'm going to unhook the manure spreader and just kind of leave it set, because then we'll just fill it up again rather than having to run out there and dump off a couple handfuls of straw. So alright, I'm going to unhook the manure spreader and back to 76 in the shed. All right, we got the barn cleaner all cleaned out, and the barn should be good for a while. We shouldn't have to worry about taking the spreader out. Yeah, that's basically about it. I'm probably gonna run out to my place and mow my grass. I saw Mom was mowing the yard here. I'm gonna head out there and probably do that, and then I gotta come back and feed calves. So we're up to 27 now, which is a good thing. They're all drinking and they're pretty healthy, so. With that, I'll let you all go. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check out all of our other ones. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all how farms work. And I'll see you next time.